Stories of the nations that have passed before us, the people that have passed before us, what their mistakes were. But at the end of the day, the Quran is there as a guidance for us, to tell us our purpose, to help us progress in not only this world, but how to achieve the hereafter, which is what's going to happen after we die. That's one of the big questions that we tend to ask ourselves. What happens after death? The Quran answers that question. And it doesn't ask it, and it doesn't require you to believe just like that. It asks you to reflect, to ponder, to use your intellect, to seek evidence of the Creator, to seek evidence of this book in of itself, and the claim that it makes to be from the Creator. It asks you to test it. So we are not asking you to have blind faith in Allah, in the Prophet Muhammad. We are asking you to test it, and this is what the Quran leads you to. The first verse that was revealed to us from this was Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord who created. So the one who created us, read in his name. Educate yourself. So that's what the Quran is. And it will give you the knowledge for your guidance in this world, and to circumnavigate this world, to solve all your problems. And I mean it, all your problems. There's nothing left out, whether it's societal, familial, business, economic, psychology, you name it. Any field that you think of, it will respond to that. As well as the psychology of man, those who are sincere, those who are insincere, those who are unsure. How do you deal with the people who are unsure? So all of this stuff is covered in those 600 pages. So it's worth a read.
I don't know if agnostic means uncertain. It's more not easily persuaded.
No,
you know what I mean?
no, because the thing is...
So I would take the best bits of all sorts of faiths and say they're excellent, you know what I mean? I think that's where I would go, I'm not going to be persuaded for a particular faith ever, per se, except a collective thought about humans, how we behave, how we conduct ourselves, you know, and that's more important to me than having a particular denomination of a faith, you know, so seeing, you know, people who believe in things is very important, you know, we need to believe in things, otherwise we haven't got a meaningful purpose, like you say.
Okay.
But to believe in things is, you could believe in, you know, the range, you know, and I prefer that notion.
But
the world's a big place.
What I would say to that, as I mentioned, the Quran, it already gives you that. It gives you the breadth of everything that you will ever experience in this world. Not just yourself, but mankind as a whole. So if you're looking for something which will give you a holistic understanding of belief, all right? Because the Quran speaks about those who believed in other gods. In fact, there has never been a point in time where man did not believe in God. Whether it was a monotheistic God, whether it was a pagan God. Yeah? The concept of atheism or agnosticism is a concept that has been developed by those who reject God. Not because they don't believe he exists. That's key. It is because they simply choose to reject the concept of a creator, knowing that there must be a creator. And this is why when you hear the arguments of the atheist or the agnostic, it sort of falls on itself. Because you cannot logically comprehend the concept of a world without a creator. That's not something that you can comprehend. No.
Chaos rules.
No.
Chaos rules.
There is
a million, bazillion happy coincidences.
That's actually not. It's not true, because random. Even the concept of randomness. The only reason we refer to it as random is simply because we don't understand the process. You know. But for example, if you threw a dice and you knew all the variables, you could tell. You would be able to know what that dice will land on if you knew all the variables. We call it random because we don't know the variables. So the concept of randomness in and of itself, the concept of chaos, is a non-starter. Because even the universe...
Well, it's so fine-tuned, so complex, and so quantum potential. You go like real diggy.
Yeah, you can even go to the quantum level.
So massive as well. So you got like...
But everything has a law. Everything has an order.
Everything has a law that's associated
cause and effect.
Also.
Cause and effect. There is always that. So this is why...
We call cause the creator.
Yeah, but you could call it, to be fair, physics and nature, couldn't you?
Yeah, but who creates the laws? Because physics and laws, physics is based upon laws.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could be. I'm not saying it is. Very clever chemistry, physics, combining the things that tend to the
but what I'm
complex, you know.
Well, but as a materialist, presumably people who reject theism, right, ultimate reality of theism, fall back on materialism, right? But anything material must have a cause. It's an eternal law of science, cause and effect.
made
So
in the start.
exactly. So you can chase it back as far as you want, but at some point you meet the uncreated, which must be the cause of creation.
But
That makes sense.
There's a big bang.
no, but even the Big Bang. What sparked the Big Bang? What the creator? The creator? No,
You give us a better definition.
Well, I
Most of the time,
know.
like,
So I
when you
saw
see
his
the-
speech
when you see
recently
the
where a
really weird
mathematician,
stuff.
and he was a cleric, I think. He basically sat in a room for about 3 years and unwound space-time completely. So, like, took time back to the very origins of the Big Bang. He worked out it came from a singularity, and he proved all the theories, Einstein, wherever he goes. If you look at the spirals, you know where they're travelling to where they came from. It all comes back.
To a singularity. That's monotheism.
Well, it's where it came from.
It has to come from.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's okay. But this is why I'm saying that atheism or agnosticism, in terms of intellectual argumentation, there is a non-starter, and this is why I say that. And at the end of the day, I'm drawing all of this from the Quran, right? And the Quran tells us, Allah is. It says, "Badi'us samawati wal ard." Yeah, the originator of the heavens and the earth. This is who Allah is. So He is the originator of all that you see and experience.
Including us.
Yeah, including us. Okay, and it gives you the origin of mankind, right? Something that actually makes sense. Mankind is a creation like all creation. It is not a development over random processes, which we know randomness doesn't actually exist. And even if
Random, but it is chaotic.
no,
It is.
what is chaos? If everything
It
that's
is chaotic. The processes are chaotic. There are many species on the planet that evolved to excellent condition and died because of some
but that's not
other
chaos.
event, you know.
That is a balance.
It all fits.
There is a balance.
It's amazing.
There might be.
Anything that has happened throughout history has created a balance. All right? And this is what is also mentioned in the Quran. Within throughout history, Allah has created
Whichever
the
way
balance.
you terminate.
So do not upset the balance. This is what it is. And this is why even today, if you look today, forget about history. If we look today, I work in the construction industry, and we always talk about sustainability, ensuring that the materials that we use do not upset the balance of ecology, of the natural resources, right? But I already know this because it's mentioned in the Quran. Allah has created everything in a balance, so do not upset the balance.
We should all
So,
be doing that, shouldn't we?
no, of course not.
We should all be.
We should always be keeping the balance. Hence why anything naturalistic, even when you look at natural disasters, they always create something after it's been destroyed. There is always new life after death has been taken. It always shifts the balance.
Nothing disappears, it just changes.
Exactly. Yeah. So and again, who controls all of this? I mean, if it truly is chaos, and it truly is a product of randomness, we would see an upset in the balance. And I'll tell you where the true chaos would actually lie: is if there was more than one creator. If there was more than one creator who had the ability to do whatever it willed, then you would see chaos. Because one creator would be sovereign and I want the leaves red, and the other one wants the leaves green. You ain't got a clue what's going to happen. That's when you would see chaos, but you don't see chaos. You see control, order, balance. Everything. Yeah. No, but at the end of the day, in order for you to create, when you create a product, you control what it does, right? You control its function, you control its processes. It has commands, right? It's just natural to have control over something, you know? Us as men, with our egos and everything, we like to have control. So that's it's just part of nature, that you have to have control over things.
Just ask you one question, because I used to be an atheist. And the thing that was the biggest problem in my life from being an atheist is the fact of good and evil. How do I navigate this person who's controlled by his inclinations through complex moral choices of good and evil, objective good and evil? So how would you as an atheist navigate your choices when some people think evil is good and good is evil? How do you determine your choices beyond your inclination?
I think we're all, I guess, born to this world without knowing particular moral compasses, but we learn them pretty quickly through the people around us.
Could you explain by the people around? Because you could be in amongst evil people.
Yeah, that's
and then
true. But
you might be
I
like an
think
Inca or an Aztec.
let's say children are born innocent, right? Children are born innocent. But most of society, I think, we're surrounded by good people.
I just wanted to get to God
The
first.
majority of people are good people, I think.
Uh-huh.
You know, not everyone, but we learn from the best examples we see, don't we? We learn from the
Based
good,
on
the good
an
conduct we see.
inclination.
The things that make us happy are when we get good connects with people,
That's
good
interesting.
people, etc.
Happy is good. Things that make you happy are good.
Well, that's
They're
yeah.
good things.
But that's not
I
criteria.
thought pornography made me happy. I thought alcohol made me happy. I thought lying made me happy if it achieved my ends. But I now look through the God lens and say that was objectively wrong. And I'm interested, how does an atheist...
Yeah, but Colin, the thing is that is a conversation that, you know, it's not suited right now, because we can't speak about morality when we haven't even got to the point of God.
Well, I'm thinking more the absence of morality would lead you to the fact there must be. But no, go on, yes. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to go. No problem. Look, it's a pleasure to meet you. All right. Thank you very much. Meeting you. Have a read of the Quran, and you'll hopefully you find it. But you're Muslim, what are you? Oh, okay. Well, inshallah, give him da'wah.
But I don't force anyone. Like everyone else free.
No, of course. We just invite to Islam. So inshallah, give him some da'wah. Okay.
But I'm not keen on being on camera as well.
Right, you should have said so.
We just came and did
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Look, if you don't want to be filmed, it's not a problem. Okay. So we don't force anyone to be filmed.
But what kind of society are you part from? Are you part from like an organization?
No. I just come here and I give da'wah.
That's the first time I come here, so I just wanted to see how it works.
No, most of the Muslims that come here to give da'wah, they're not part of any organization. They
I
are.
guess everyone comes from like a group of...
No, we don't. We actually we become acquainted with one another, and then we become friends, and then we hang out after Speaker's Corner. We go have a meal. But
Because you have lots of technology with the mic and the camera.
look, none of these people are affiliated with me, but it's good, because at the end of the day, what we say here and the da'wah we give here, if we can show it to the world, then other people might benefit. So as much as and it's not edited. So as much as we speak to the people here and try to give them da'wah, what we say to them, it could resonate with someone else. So inshallah, this is the goal, and may Allah make it successful.
But I'm just wondering how my image is going to be used, because it's all been recorded.
We'll blur your face. I'll speak to the cameraman and make sure your face is blurred, okay? No problem. So. Bye. Okay, Allah. No problem.
I remember you from way back when you had no hair. You were baldy, weren't you?
That's correct.
Yeah. But how's life treating you?
Life is good.
I'm pleased.
That's
No, I
good.
see you every now and again on the videos and things like that. And my desire at the moment is I want to have a discussion with a Muslim that, how's the best way to say it, is different to how most discussions are. And it doesn't matter what the topic is. I want to be able to enjoy a polite conversation with you and hear what you have to say over any subjects and things. It's important for me as a Christian and you as a Muslim to re-establish that there is a corner in this corner where we're able to, I want to say to you, you take as long as you want to construct your argument. And I'll be patient and I will try and listen and give you a genuine answer to everything that you say to me.
That's not a problem. That's fine. First of all, brothers, inshallah, for the last video, we're going to blur the sister's face out, yeah? We're going to blur the sister's face out. Five, inshallah, yeah? Okay, no problem.
You know, so I'm here. I don't know if you want to, or maybe you don't feel comfortable. Or what.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But you know, Colin, at the end of the day, you as a Christian, me as a Muslim, the only thing I want to speak to you about is Tawheed. The oneness of God. The oneness of God. Because that is one of the main things that separates me and you. Okay? And then after that, it's about the prophethood of Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Yeah. Can I just say, and it was good, because you said the thing that separates us is the oneness of God.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would probably at the start of the discussion say, I believe in one God.
But do you?
Yes.
Okay.
So now we can unpack that, and you know, you ask me anything. How can I say that? I suppose.
Okay. So